think people realize like how crazy it has been over the last couple of years, and how quickly things are about to change. So, first of all, if you have been to a Target or a grocery store or to pretty much any other retail space in the last couple years, especially since CV, then you've probably experienced what I have experienced, which you walk in and you see that there are people filling up carts and essentially walking out the back door. Now, DHS is doing something that is absolutely wild, and again, not a surprise whatsoever. DHS and Target are announcing a major policy change with Homeland Security to combat theft as shoplifting scourge shutters stores. Now, we actually covered that 9 stores had recently closed, 2 of which are by me. Now, when I say you've probably experienced what I've experienced, maybe you haven't, because I have actually been near the Seattle stores, which they have experienced this. Some folks said, "Oh, well, I've never had that at mine." Maybe out in the sticks, or if you're not by a major metropolis, maybe this isn't happening. But again, where I live, I see it on a daily basis. Especially like after the show, I would go into a Target around 9:30 or right before close. It would always happen. Because of my show schedule, I would go in to get my stuff, and I would see these things happening. I would see people loading up whole carts with, an entire shopping cart full of Lego, this and that. And I kept thinking in my head, like, why aren't they doing anything about this? Why are these people just walking out? In fact, some of these times there was a police officer right outside the door, and they would watch them do it. They would maybe grab somebody and say, "Put that back," something like this. But of course, we've all been told like, "Oh, well, they can't touch them. They can't really do anything because they'll get sued." And they also changed laws around CV. We're told by our politicians that, hey, they're just trying to steal bread because they're trying to feed their family. Yet I'm sure that, $2,000 worth of Lego will definitely feed them, but I don't think it's bread, right? But now, after all of this, and I've been watching this since CV started, and I'm going like, how is this even possible? How are these stores letting so much stuff just walk out the door? And how are the insurance companies still paying for this stuff? How does this even work? And how are these corporations able to do this? You would think that it would be cheaper to have full-time staff and full-time security, not only at the front door, but at the back door. Heck, if they hired somebody for $15 an hour to stand at the back door when they come through with the cart and go, "Hey, that's our cart." Or heck, I'm surprised they didn't invest in the stupid remote control buttons to stop the carts. And you're saying, well, yeah, they actually are now. And everything is in glass cases. Now you get treated like a criminal every time you walk into a store because they believe that absolutely everyone is stealing. Yes, these are all true. Customer service is something that, our parents had back in the day, but now it's like if you walk into a store, you're automatically assumed, even if you're wearing a suit, that you are some sort of criminal, right? Well, it makes sense. Now DHS is getting involved. The Department of Homeland Security is getting involved with Target. Now, first of all, DHS, why DHS? Why Target? Because of shoplifting? Well, first of all, you have to go back a little bit and see what Target has already been doing. Most people don't know, but Target actually has one of the most advanced forensics labs, right? Target and forensics labs. They have one of the most advanced forensics labs in the country and in the world, actually. And what they were doing is they were actually letting people steal. And here's the thing. They were letting people steal until they got to a certain number. And that certain number, I believe, was 500. They might have raised it, and I think they might have changed some laws. But say $500, right? If they see Joe Schmo taking a dollar DVD, they would let him walk out with it. In fact, they wouldn't say anything. They actually know. They're watching. They say, "Oh, he's took a dollar DVD." They have a facial recognition system that actually scans that person and then acquires that to kind of their account or to their number. So they know that this person is there. They have a facial recognition of that person, and then they wait until he steals 499 more DVDs, and then they charge him with a much more serious theft, or at least that's what they said that they were doing. In the meantime, because they were doing this and because that was the excuse, they were adding in some of the most advanced facial recognition to all of these stores. When we say forensics labs, they are actually keeping track of things. I don't know. I heard that they were doing fingerprinting and things like this on serious crimes. But honestly, it's crazy because if you call the police, if you have something happen to your house, they'll take 4 hours to show up. Apparently, Target has their own forensics labs. Meanwhile, DHS is now getting involved. This is the big question why. And if you actually read what they're saying here, it leaves a lot open. It really doesn't make much sense. Now, also a reminder, Target and other big stores, all of the same stores that are doing these things, they were all the stores that stayed open during CV. All of the ma and pa shops that actually do have customer service, that don't treat like a criminal, all of those places were forced to shutter their doors. Now they're actually closing stores. I don't really feel bad for them because honestly, they have done a whole lot during this whole time that was pretty sketchy. It says that the retail giant announced they have also promised to make significant investments in cyber defense as it scrambles to tackle this spiraling crime. Now, remember, this spiraling crime happened because during CV, they essentially said, oh, just go ahead and do it. They weren't arresting people. They were not taking people's stuff. They weren't doing anything. Now, some people look at this and they're like, well, it's because the people were in so much pain and they, this was a mercy thing and this. They were stealing thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff while everybody else was paying with their hard-earned money to go buy things for their families. Again, all of the law changes were done on purpose. It's almost like it was manufactured. So I think it's kind of funny that now DHS is conveniently coming in to help these stores. We all see the problem. We all see the shoplifting threat. Now what? Oh, now DHS needs to get involved in your local retail giant that every single person has probably been introduced to and probably goes to on a regular basis, right? And I'm sure there's some of you going, I don't go to Target, or I don't go to Fred Meyer, or I don't go to these places. Well, most people do. It says, on Tuesday, the beloved chain issued a statement to customers listing the ways it will strive to combat criminality in its stores. At Target, we take the decision to close stores very seriously and only do so after taking meaningful steps to invest in the guest experience and improve business performance. It says, with that said, we have made the difficult decision to close 9 Target stores. It says, in this case, we cannot continue operating these stores because of theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests, contributing to unsustainable business performance. Now, I wonder why people were doing this. Oh, it might be that they weren't going to jail. They would get put in jail or they would get put in the back of the cop car and they just got released. Kind of like the situation going on down south. If people are told over and over again, hey, you're not going to get in trouble and you might even get a reward out of it, then people are going to do that thing. Now, during CV, basically the word spread really, really quickly. If you steal something, doesn't matter how much it is, if you walk out with a TV, we saw countless videos, countless times that people just walked out with it. Heck, during CV, I saw a guy walk out with 2 big screen TVs under his arms and literally a cop just sitting there watching it happen. He then goes across the street and sells it to somebody in the mall parking lot, and somebody hands him money right there on the spot. The TV's gone. The guy puts it in the back of his truck and leaves. Meanwhile, the Target employees and the cop are just sitting there. This is the insanity. Now, of course, now that this has happened, they've let everybody steal and they've made sure to spread the word so everybody's stealing. Now they're going to get DHS involved in your local retail stores. Why the heck would Department of Homeland Security need to be there? Again, there's not much of an answer later. It says, we know that our stores serve an important role in their communities, but we can only be successful if the working and shopping environment is safe for all. Well, yeah, that's right. But what level do they need to go to now to make it shop, to shop safely, right? It says the company then lists its store policy changes, namely its decision to team up with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Homeland Security investigations. It comes after Target made the shocking announcement that it pulled the plug on 9 stores. That's it. That's all we have. That's what their partnership with DHS is. Closures in New York City, Seattle, and Portland are coming after the Target CEO, blah, 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 high crime rates, all of this. So because of something that they essentially created, now there is an excuse and a reason to bring DHS into your local Target store, or at least bring DHS into the level where all of those cameras and the advanced facial recognition they already have now is going to be carefully threaded right back through to DHS. Now, do you think DHS is going to go, oh, that person's not stealing, let's delete their info? We're only looking at the thieves here. Come on, people. It's absolutely crazy. Share this out everywhere you can. And make sure to join us over on our other channel, Marfoogle TV. We're going to have a live show, and we're going to talk about all of the other crazy events. There's a lot of stuff going on with Russia and China, so make sure to tune in. And, of course, share this out. Go to our website, marfooglenews.com, for the source for the show and the bibliography for every single article, tweet, video, picture, document. Also, go check it out. If you are not prepped up yet, go over to marfooglenews.com/prep. Make sure to get yourself some food. There's freeze-dried food that lasts 25 years, and it helps support our channel at the same time. We're independent, and we're not going with the grain. So we appreciate you sharing our stuff out, and we appreciate the support. I'll see you guys. Thank you, Marfia. I'll see you in just a couple minutes over on Marfoogle TV. Go to marfooglenews.com. You'll find our channels and everything else there as well if you get lost. All right, guys, be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.